after the harvest with Tasha and Josh. We just got our first batch of pickles, and we're going to pickle some cucumbers today. See, what I do is the night before I get them all sliced up, and we put them in an ice bath with a little bit of kosher salt on top and ice and just a little bit of water, and that melts. The ice melts overnight. This is a process that we found helps them make your pickles stay a little crispy instead of getting really soggy and mushy later on. So now what we'll have to do is we will dump this out and we will rinse them off with cold water, and then they'll be ready to pickle. All right, so now we have rinsed off our cucumbers that we let soak with ice water and salt last night. So those are all ready to go. And what we're going to do now is get our pickle brine ready. And to do that, we've got 1 part water, or 1 quart of water, and 1 quart of vinegar. And we'll put those right in the pan. And then we have, in this cup, we've got 3/4 of a cup of pickling salt and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And we'll dump that right in there also. And scrape out everything there. And kind of stir, give that a stir before we put it on. And then we also have our pickling spice here. And we're going to put 3 tablespoons of that in there. And then that'll be ready to, you'll want to boil it, get it to a rolling boil, and then let it simmer for 15 minutes. And the pickling spice here, you can buy this already done. Ball sells a really good pickling spice, and there's also McCormick sells one. They're already pre-done for you, but if you want to play with it, your basic pickling spice just has peppercorns in it and allspice berries, dill seed, whole mustard seeds, and 10 to 12 bay leaves crushed up and mixed in there, and like a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes also. And then you just mix it all together. And then there's other things you can put in there, like juniper berries or star anise. I've even seen some recipes with cinnamon sticks in them or whole cloves. So you could kind of make this to your own taste. Switch it up, try a few different things. It's always fun to experiment. I have to keep stirring so that all dissolves. Here is a wooden spoon that Josh actually made me from one of our trees out here. So see what you can find, and you can make all on your own at home. All right, the brine has boiled for, or simmered for 15 minutes. So that's all ready to go. So we just get ready to jar everything up. We have boiled our jars in hot water, and now our lids and bands are boiling, so we get them nice and hot. So we just get ready to do our pickling here. So we're going to put a clove of garlic in there, and a head of dill, and a little dill right into the jar. And then we'll just start packing our pickles in the jar. And you always want to leave a 1/2 inch of headspace up here, so you don't want to fill them completely up. And then we've got this pickle crisp granules from Ball, and we put in 1/4 teaspoon of that right into the jar. And then we just stir up our pickling brine here. Get the top ready there. And this is the same. You don't want to fill it all the way. You only stir the way. And these are some canning instruments that help. This can measure that for you. But usually if you just stop right there and pull this out, that's the perfect amount. All right, so that's ready to be capped off as soon as we're ready here.
All right, now that we got our cucumbers jarred up and our water boiling in our canner, we're ready to drop this in. And we want the water to be at least an inch above the lids of our jars. And then we just cover it. We don't use the weights. We're not pressure canning. So we just set the lid on the top. And then we let that run for about 15 minutes. And then we pull them out and they'll be ready. Alright, 15 minutes is up. Take the lid off. And we'll shut our heat off. And then we're going to just pull the rack up. Just rest it on here for just a few minutes. And then we'll take them out of there and set them on the counter and let them sit overnight, and then the tops will pop and then they're ready to be stored.
Well, thank you for watching our first segment after the harvest. Stay tuned for more things to come.